right, here we go. Welcome to the Chazz Palminteri podcast. I'm telling you, I'm having a good time doing this. First, I just want to remind you all where I'm going to be. If you want to see my one-man show that started it all, go to chazzpalminteri.net, and my schedule is there. Coming up in September, I'm taking the summer off. I decided. I'm taking the summer off. My wife and I, and we're going to travel. We're going to go to Europe. We're going to have a good time. But back in September doing the one-person show, September 10th, I'm going to be at Lancaster, PA at the American Music Theater in Detroit. I love Detroit. September 17th, Detroit, Michigan. I love Michigan because my daughter goes to University of Michigan. At the Music Hall, okay, in Detroit. That is September 17th. In October, folks, this is going to be some show. It's been 15 years since I did the one-man show on Broadway. 15 years. I'm going to be doing one night only back on Broadway at the Town Hall on 43rd Street. That's right. That is October 1st. October 1st in New York City, downtown. One show, and it is the first time it's the first time in 34 years since I wrote the show that I'll be doing a Q&A after the show where I will take questions from the audience. I'll talk about how the whole thing happened. We all know that, but some great stories about stories about the movie, when we did the movie, about when we did the musical. But people just want to ask questions about my life and about how the whole thing happened. That is October 1st at the Town Hall, Broadway in Manhattan. October 8th, Springfield, Massachusetts, MGM Casino. Springfield, Massachusetts, MGM Casino. October 9th, Boston. I love Boston. Boston's a great place. Boston, MA, October 9th, I'll be at the Emerson Colonial Theater. Catch me in Boston. It's going to be a great show. And two more in Pittsburgh. That is November 11th and 12th. I'm going to be at the Byram Theater. So come and see the one-man show. You got to put it on your bucket list, folks. Come on. If you saw the movie, you saw the musical. Right, John? They got to come and see it. You saw it.
It was way different. It was a good experience.
All right. It was, it's something that if you never saw, you got to see, right? So, also, go to my website, chazzpalminteri.net. My merchandise is there. We got great shirts. Now You Can't Leave with Bronx Tale on the back, and Saddest Thing in Life is Wasted Talent. Don't forget the card. And, I just started doing something recently. I'm a motivational speaker, and people can call up on my website, and you can book an hour with me, and I speak to people about whatever you want, your career. But lately, you know what's been happening, John? I can't believe it. What's been happening? That's John the Wand behind the lens over there.
Hello.
So, John, what's going on is families have been calling me up saying to speak to their son. But I mean like 14 years old. And I was like, well, okay. But I always say if I'm going to speak to a child under 18, the parents have to be there. So I happened to speak to, was it two boys in different occasions and one girl? And they called me to speak about doing the right thing in life, getting better marks. And one of the boys was not doing very well in school. And I spoke with him, and I don't know, we just talked about life, and I told him about how important it is to do the right thing. And it's so important to always judge your friends. You will be the judge of the worst of your friends. Anyway, I don't want to get into all that, but now the kid's doing great in school, so I don't know. So I'm going to open it up to parents if you want me to talk to their child. For some reason, whatever God has given me, I'm able to talk to some of these young kids, And even if they're doing great, I'll be more than some of the other kids were doing great. I said, why do you want me to talk to him? He sounds like he's doing fantastic. but they just said we wanted to keep him doing great. So we talked about drugs and alcohol and doing the right thing. So you can go to chazzpalminteri.net for that. So let's get to the show. The show today is what? Neighborhood Logic.
Neighborhood Logic.
That's right. We're going to answer some of the questions on the show today. Okay, let's see. Who do we got first here? Let's see. My name is Darius, and he's from London. From London, England, which I can't say definite. I will be performing my one-man show on the West End. I hope sometime this year. I can't say when, but coming up soon. Absolutely, okay? Okay. I don't want to read the whole question because it's very long, but he loves The Bronx Tale. He loves my movies. He was 17 when he saw it. He pursued acting when he was young. He won a lot of awards. And then when he first met his wife, she was disabled, and he quit his job to become her caretaker. A carer. 6 years on, she dumped me. Well, and now he's moved back with his parents. He's 34 years old. Is it too late for him to take up his career? Absolutely not. If you really want to be an actor, but you have to really want to do it, Darius. If you just want to do it because you want the fame or you think it's great, it has to be something that's in your blood. You gave it up once before. Are you going to do it again? It's tough. It's really tough. But if you really want to do it, do it. And I always tell young actors, there's no age limit. In fact, the older you get, the better it is. I've seen people start doing acting in their 60s, 70s, 80s. I'm serious when I say that. People always say, is it too late to start acting at my age, 30, 40? I say no, not at all. In fact, the older you are, sometimes the better it is. Because anybody who's that old, they quit. They quit by then. So it's hard to find good people who are acting at that age. So I say, whether you're a man, woman, go for it. If you really want to do it, you go for it.
If you look at somebody like Steve Carell was somebody who started acting young, but he didn't get famous until he was like 45, I think.
Yeah, in his 40s.
Definitely in his 40s is when he broke into the industry.
Right. I know, without a doubt. I mean, look, I was 38, almost 40. Yeah, so it's never too late. Who's this? Carl Gambino tone. I don't know. I'm so bad, my dyslexia. But Carl, given you get a lot of mooks sending you scripts, he says, have you ever gotten a script that wound up being successful? Love you guys. Keep fighting a good fight. That's from Carl. Have I ever gotten a script? Yeah. Not many. I rewrite a lot of things. I get paid to rewrite scripts. I get paid to look over scripts and give my opinion. So I've gotten 3 scripts. I can only talk about the real successful ones. I got 3 scripts in my whole life that when I got those scripts to look at, I said, forget it. I have no notes. It's a great script. And those 3 scripts were, when I first read them, Shawshank Redemption, Save It Private Ryan, and the last one recently that was written by Nick Vallelongo was Green Book. Those 3. So, yeah, when I read those 3, I said, wow. So, yeah, I hope I answered your question, Carl, but it's very hard. Most scripts you get, it's always like, it's always like 70% written. You always got to do some rewrites on it, whatever. Okay, this is from Gail Lynn. Gail Lynn says, what's this? What makes a man sexy? Well, this is coming from a guy. She writes confidence and sexy lips. Okay, so she's being a little sexy and fresh with me because she says, sexy lips like yours. Okay. Well, thank you very much for the compliment. That's very sweet of you. But I think, all kidding aside, I think what makes a man sexy is confidence. Really. I agree with that. I agree with the ladies who say that. I mean, you could be not the greatest looking guy in the world, but if you have confidence, if you just walk up to a girl, and I think there's something to be respected for that. I think women respect a man who has confidence. And the women who don't respect confidence, if they're just looking at you and they want like a six-pack on a young guy, then who wants to talk to those girls anyway? Unless you're the same age. Unless you're the same age. But no, I believe in that. I mean, women, see what a woman says, it's always confidence. What do men say? It's looking at her. I've always said that. Men are attracted to aesthetics. Women are attracted to confidence, to power, in a way. It's true. You've heard me say this before. A man could walk into a bar. A woman could walk into a bar. And the only difference is, if a woman walks into a bar and she sees a nice-looking guy, and the guy comes over to her and he's got confidence and she likes him and they get along right away. But as they're talking through the evening, if he turns into an asshole, she's like, done, out, she's out. Her and her girlfriends were like, boom, she's gone. The difference is when a man meets a gorgeous girl at a bar and he starts talking with her, and she could turn into like this biggest bitch or whatever. She could be just all of a sudden get nasty with him. He doesn't care. He's got to sleep with her anyway. That's the difference. Women are much more mature than men when it comes to like relationships. We all know that. You understand, right, John?
I agree with you 100% on that one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, women, they just got they got their shit together. Men, who said that? Men are dogs. I believe that. I mean, I don't know. I think it's like God put this thing in men where, they got to, procreate the species. So every time they look, there's that great story with Herbert, President Hoover, if I'm not mistaken. That's where the this effect. Oh no, Calvin Coolidge. I'm sorry, it was the President Calvin Coolidge. He was president, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, Calvin Coolidge.
I am not good at history.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
President Coolidge. There's a thing in science called the Coolidge effect. You can go on Google and go on the Coolidge effect. And what that is, let me tell you a quick story about the Coolidge effect. Gail, you made me think of this thing. And that is, when Calvin Coolidge was president, they were going through like this, him and his first lady they went to this farm where there was all these chickens. They got to the part where there was all these chickens. So his wife happened to look at this rooster, and she saw all these chickens, and she said to him, wow, she says, who takes care of all the chickens? That one rooster? So the farmer says, yes. She goes, oh, well. Now, her and her husband were separated on the farm, and she said to the guy, well, when my husband comes here, when the president comes here, tell him that. And, so to make a joke, like, look how many times the rooster could do this, right? So when the president gets there, President Coolidge gets there. This is a true story. Go on Google, look it up, you'll see. When he gets there, the guy says, Mr. President, your wife was just looking at the chickens, and she said, you see that rooster? He makes love 20, 30 times a day. She told me to tell you that. And the president said, to the same hen? So that's what he was trying to say. So from that, they call this thing the Coolidge effect. So scientists, that's how they named it. Scientists got a rat, okay, a male rat, put it in a cage. I don't know what made me go off on this. I hope stay with me, folks. A male rat, put it in a cage, and then got a female rat, right? That was, I guess, in heat. Boom, dumped it in. The male rat, boom, jumped right on it, right? Okay, that was the first day. Second day, they threw the same rat in. Boom, it waited 2 minutes before it jumped on it. Third day, threw it in. Now, the rat kind of moved around a little bit, waited maybe 10 minutes. Boom, jumped on the rat, did his thing. After a few more days, this rat, the male rat, didn't want anything to do with the female rat, just ignored it. They put a new rat in, boom, jumped right on it. So I'm just telling you with science, and they call this thing the Coolidge effect. Go on Google if you think I'm making this up, and you'll see.
So a little history lesson.
A little history lesson here.
Coolidge was the 30th U.S. president from 1923 to 1929, and the Coolidge effect is the progressive decline in a male's propensity to mate with the same female combined with a heightened sexual interest in new females.
That's why John is here. That's why he's the magic man. John the One. Okay? It's an interesting fact, So guys, don't feel bad. It's just, we got the Coolidge effect. What are you going to do?
Nature.
You understand, right? Okay. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Amy is, hi, my name is Amy and I work for Heart Media. Would love to talk to you about your podcast. Amy, come on. I don't know why you want to talk to me about my podcast. What do you want? Yeah, but I thank you for watching it, and I appreciate you being a fan. That's very nice of you, Amy. And let's see what else we got here. We had Amy, and let's see. Is this Carl? Carl, you're back again with another question? I'll try. What is he saying? I had a pizza place near me in Long Island who took hot Zeppelis, cut them in half, and put cannoli cream. That's like my friend, come on, that's like my friend Jerome at Gino's Pastry. The best pastry anywhere in Manhattan, in the Bronx, 580 East 187th Street. Am I right? 187? 188? It's right
I'll
on.
look it up.
In the neighborhood. Gino's Pastry. Where is the exact address? It's in the Bronx. I don't know. It's a little early.
Gino's Pastry in the Bronx is 580 East 187th Street.
580 East 187th Street. He's the one, he had this thing called a donoli. It's a donut and a cannoli mixed together. Oh my God, you got to go there and try it. And the best cappuccinos in the world. I'm serious. Pretty amazing. That's the cappuccino queen, Joanne. Incredible. Okay, Dominique. What is Dominique? Hello, my name is Dominique. Sessa, I have been following the podcast and enjoy it. I'm an Italian-American. I still believe his Bronx Tale is one of my best films. Thank you so much. And what does she say here? I especially love the way you're reaching out, telling different stories about our community. Well, I love to talk about our community. I love to bring the old school guys. We're going to have more old school episodes. The problem with the old school guys is they're all dying. You know what I mean, John? I got to get these guys before they pass away here.
Got to do it quick. Ray Liotta just went.
So, Dominique, what are you saying here? I'm 27 and have been full-time in a wheelchair. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Since I was 17, I have a neuromuscular disease, but I want to use my story to see representation. If you have any interest, please let me know. Either way, I think your podcast is phenomenal. Well, I just got to say, Dominique, I think you're phenomenal. I do. I think anybody who has, who could, look, me, I look at people who have handicaps like that and people in a wheelchair, and I look at them and they smile and they go about life. And to me, I am absolutely stunned. Stunned when I see people that strong. And from your reading your story here about being an Italian-American, my heart goes to you. And I say, hey, man, it's your attitude. Your attitude is everything when you have this. And I think you have a great attitude. And I say to you, God bless you and keep it up. And be a voice for other people who are disabled. Because people who are disabled need somebody like you to talk to them, Try to find organizations, places to speak to, and talk to young people who've had accidents, where they're paraplegic or they're crippled or they have something that, that they need to, I don't know what I'm saying right now, but I feel for you. And God bless you and keep up the good fight. And I mean that sincerely.
There's a lot of TikTok channels with content like that, and they kind of speak as like a voice, and other people can relate to it. And it's really a beautiful thing. And they talk about their disabilities. And
On TikTok?
On TikTok, yeah. There's a lot of channels like that where they talk about their disabilities, and it gains a lot of traction because they act as a voice for them.
Well, all right. Well, there you go. John has told you. I hope that helps you out. Okay, next question. My name is Dani Antonucci. I'm 21 and I'm from Connecticut. The truth is I'm gay and I'm out with all my friends and my nonna. Oh, he told his nonna. But I just don't know how to tell my parents. Well, Dani, we just told them if they're watching this podcast, who are real old school Italians like yourself. I saw what they did to Vito in The Sopranos, and I'm not looking to get whacked. Oh, come on now, Nick. Be real here now. What do you think is the best way to tell them so they be understanding? Well, Nick, I think the best way to tell them is to sit them down, tell them that you love them so much, and explain to them that because you're gay, this is who you are. And that's more, say, Mom, Dad, don't you want to see me happy? Don't you want to see me happy? Should I hide the fact that I'm gay? He should say that to his parents and then realize that I'm not happy the rest of my life. I can never understand that. And if your child, and I say this to anybody out there, if your child is gay, straight or whatever, don't you want to see your child happy? I don't get it. I'm sorry. I do understand, and sometimes I say to these parents, are you the one, because you don't want to be stigmatized with that, oh, my child is gay, or are you really caring about your child? It's about the child. If a person is gay, that's it. That's what they feel in their heart. They should have a great life. They should be able to get married and live a wonderful life. God, could we just leave everybody alone here? If a person is trans, let them be. If they're happy, that's all that matters. If they're good people and they add to society, what is wrong with that? I think it's the parents sometimes, John. They're the ones who get they're embarrassed or whatever. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you're right on that one. I mean, I think it's just the fear of people, like you said, making fun of them or judging them for having a gay child, so that they get embarrassed and they're self-conscious about it.
Right. But you know what? If you support your child, this is your child. You support your child no matter what. And that's the way I feel. And I've always felt that way. Always. Let's see. Frank. Okay, Frank tells me Frank Scuderi. He loves my podcast. It's very inciting. Thank you very much. Let's see. What is this? My daughter and I have been plans to come to your restaurant. My restaurant. I haven't talked about my restaurants. I have a restaurant in Manhattan, two of the best Italian restaurants around, 30 West 46th Street in Manhattan and 264 Main Street in White Plains, right? And she wants to come to my, that would be, they saw me on Modern Family. But anyway, I look up enough to see you around, Chazz. Oh, he's going to come to my restaurant. I thought it would be her favorite show. It was a gift that we'll always give. The show was this other show, The Worst Cooks in America on Food Network. All right, I never saw that show. I don't know. Why would I want to see about the worst cooks in America? Huh? It's okay. But Frank, come to my restaurant. I'd love to say hello to you and your daughter. Yeah, Vincent. What about Vincent? Vincent Prospero. I'm going through my father's things, he said, and I came across a silver certificate torn in half with my dad's signature and the signature of one of his mobster's friends. I think I saw in a movie once where a guy used half of a $100 bill signed by a made guy as a favor from some other mob boss. Have you ever heard of anything like that? No. No, I haven't. Well, his father's now is in a nursing home with dementia. My mom doesn't know about this either. I wish I could help you out, Vincent, but I got to be honest with you. I never heard about that. He's talking about degenerate gamblers. Oh, do I know about degenerate gamblers? And that they bet so much they would mess up the odds. Yeah. Well, you know about Eddie Mush. The guy was such the biggest loser in the world. You know that famous line that I wrote down in Bronx Tale. He would go to the racetrack and the teller would give him his tickets already ripped up. This guy was a loser. But I love, you know, Eddie Mush, that word mush. Go ahead. What? Oh, you're waving to me. No, Eddie Mush, his name became, in the dialogue in America, people go, hey, the guy's been mushed. He's an Eddie Mush. He's a mush, that guy. I can't believe it. Eddie Mush. Eddie Mush Montanaro. Eddie, I know you're up there in heaven sometime. You became famous, pal. You always wanted to be famous. You became famous. I got to tell you, folks, degenerate gamblers, I know all about them. Any degenerate gamblers out there? You know what? I should get some degenerate gamblers on the show, John.
That would be an interesting guest.
That'd be an interesting guest,
Or
right? Well, I had a few of them.
Yeah, rehabilitated gambler. Somebody that bets hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. That would be interesting.
Degenerate gamblers. I had a few of the biggest ones on. I had Squiggy. Squiggy was a degenerate gambler. His father was a degenerate gambler. His father lost him when he was born, on points, as they say. You know, I mean, oh my God. Let's see, who's this? Alessia. Alessia King. Alesia. Is that Alessia? Yeah, I guess so.
Alicia, maybe?
Alicia, I'm sorry. My eyes, because of my dyslexia, please. Sorry. I wish I could bring your one-man show to Nashville. I'd love to come to Nashville. Just saw you on Wise Guys with John Tobacco. Oh, that's right. I do that with John Tobacco sometimes. When I saw your schedule did not include Nashville. Well, if you want to see my schedule, ChazzPalminteri.net. I would love to come to Nashville. I think that would be a great idea. Well, if you come to New York, October 1st, I'll be one night at the Town Hall Theater, Broadway. Come and check it out. I think you would love it. What does my friend Joel Weiss have to say here? My friend Joel Weiss, he wants to wish me and the Palminteri family a happy, fun day. Oh, look at this guy. Let me tell you something about Joel Weiss. This guy has more determination and more guts than any actor I've ever met. I've never seen. I was in college with this guy. 1972, I think it was, Joe. Yeah, we were in the acting class together. And this guy is still out there. He was in a great show, great film, one of those cult classics, The Warriors. And I got to give the guy credit, man. He's a terrific actor, and he still works. God bless you, Joel Weiss. So, you know, neighborhood logic, if you got any questions, you got any things you want to talk about, you want to talk to me about certain things, call me. Let me know. We'll talk about neighborhood logic. I love neighborhood logic. I love to answer questions from everybody. Folks, remember, go to my podcast, Chazz Palminteri Show. You can get it on, Spotify. You can get it on Google. You can hear it if you like while you're working out in the morning. Check it out. We're going to have more old school guys on. It's just hard to find, man. These guys are hard to find in my neighborhood. I go, what about this guy? Oh, he's died. What about that guy? He passed away. I'm like, oh, man. But I'm going to get some degenerate gamblers on here. And if you want me to talk, motivate you, a friend, your child, go to chazzpalminteri.net. Set up a call. I enjoy doing it. God bless you all. And don't forget, oh my God, I can't believe it. Michael Francis. Me and Michael Francis are doing our own podcast together besides our own. It's called The Wise and the Wise Guy. That's me and Michael Francis, the legendary crime boss who is now turned his life around, born-again Christian, wonderful human being. But he's got such incredible, interesting stories. Me and him together are going to be doing our own show. When you go to it, go to Palminteri Francis, The Wise and the Wise Guy. Check it out. God bless you all. Talk to you soon.